An honest leader should be transparent and display vulnerability. Do you want to know how to be a more open and honest leader? Remember, being a leader is not about position or job title. You are a CEO of self. You are a manager of your life. The ability for one to be honest and vulnerable shows that one is human. Being human comes with challenges and flaws, a lot of them. However, in order to be an effective leader, being open to discuss the challenges and flaws is what makes an incredible difference. The sharing of experiences is the difference between a mere teacher and a leader. Removing ego and the obsession of projecting a perfect version of self for all to see is important. I want to go just a tad bit deeper in order to explain these notions. Then I want to reveal a struggle that I deal with and what I'm doing to be the best CEO of self that I can be in that area of difficulty. I believe being vulnerable can serve as a great way to show your humanity and that you have struggles too. Not everyone is willing to be vulnerable, and understandably so. Sometimes being vulnerable comes with a high price that not everyone is willing to pay. We all have flaws and challenges. It doesn't matter how one projects their image to the world. One thing remains true for all. Nobody is perfect, and we all have flaws and challenges. One person may be great in the area of health and diet. However, this same person may struggle with a critical spirit. They may be unable to tame their frequent and harsh judgment on others. In contrast, there may be a person who has a terrible diet but has a heart of gold. They may be the type everyone loves to be around regardless of their eating habits. Then you might have a person who has a great diet and great attitude, yet has a quiet addiction behind closed doors that nobody knows about. Struggling in silence is not the best method for a CEO of self. That is the very reason why I'm building this community. Also remember that you are never alone. God is always by your side and ready to help you from within if you allow him to. Stop the cap. Just be honest. You are a CEO of self. You are a leader too. With that being said, be not afraid to admit what challenges you are going through. Sure, you don't have to announce it publicly, but at least own it. Then get in the fight to impact the deficiency with the intent of improvement. Being a CEO of self is about admitting to challenges and battling them. Sometimes we go through periods in life where we may seem to lose a single battle. Challenges become overwhelming. Our choices often place us in a bad place in life. Sometimes we are in a bad predicament due to no fault of our own. Yet as long as we know that going in, we will get back up when we realize life has knocked us down yet again. There is a needed balance in making the right choices and understanding that not everything is in our control. Never giving up and aim to be honest with yourself. Living in denial is dangerous. Expose yourself to the deepest fear. After that, fear has no power, and the fear of freedom shrinks and vanishes. You are free. Jim Morrison. Let go of toxic ego. A toxic ego can get in the way of being the most effective leader we are called to be. This applies to any type of leader, not just one holding a formal title. A toxic ego can cause one to lack empathy towards others and to be resistant to feedback. Also, a toxic ego makes it very difficult for a leader to admit to their flaws. This is a recipe for disaster for anyone who is a parent, older sibling, teacher, manager, police officer, politician, or anyone in a position of authority. Or maybe you're none of these. Regardless, the truth still remains. You are a CEO of self. My personal weight loss battle. Over the course of my adult life, a huge struggle has been my weight. I put on a lot of it while trying to make a life for my family. Bad habits formed and a bad work schedule has always been the easy excuse. Fast food and local restaurants were easily accessible for so many years, especially during the years that I worked for the railroad. At my worst point, I was tipping the scale at around 340 pounds. Now, that's an estimate because there were many years where I never stepped on a scale. The number could be higher than that. My greatest success started in 2022 and into mid-2023. I went from 340 pounds down to 261 pounds. I started veering off since a vacation I took back in April 2023. I am now 288 pounds. During that vacation, I treated myself and allowed a few days of eating heavily. You better believe I was hitting the buffet lines and downing loads of ice cream. I was having a ball. I was also starting to become the shape of a ball again too. Treating myself without limits was the worst thing I could have ever done. I have not quite recovered since. That's kind of like telling a recovering alcoholic to treat themselves to an unlimited open bar. Being an alcoholic is a deadly addiction, and so is obesity. Now I am renewing my commitment. I will provide updates on my progress throughout my publications. I am hoping to hold myself more accountable by journaling this to my readers like you. If I succeed, you can help me celebrate. And if I fail, you can help encourage me. I will add the updates to a section towards the bottom of each post. I am by no means an expert in the area of health, and my journey is for documentation purposes only. Consult with your health professionals if you decide to embark on your own weight loss journey. Conclusion. In order to be an effective leader, you must be honest with yourself. Then, if there is a challenge you've overcome that you might be comfortable sharing, do so with the intent of teaching others the lessons learned. Your struggle and how you overcome it will be of great value to those under your stewardship. The battles you face will be a great opportunity to step into action like a powerful leader. We get to demonstrate how to respond to adversity. Our children, students, siblings, staff, and whomever you are accountable for will be able to adopt your strategies when they face similar challenges. You never know who is looking up to you. How do you think you can use your challenges as a teaching moment for those around you? Are you willing to be vulnerable to inspire others? Thank you for listening to the CEO of Self newsletter. Please subscribe or email me at ceoofself2023@gmail.com to be added to the news list.